there! Welcome to a new video on the Sugaridoo channel. Today I will be sewing my final Manx block and I will putting together my Manx blocks. So I will show you how I assemble the quilt top with these blocks. And in the meantime I will chat about everything that's going on over here in the studio and we'll announce the next Sugaridoo super sale. There we go, let's see if I got everything in the frame. So I thought it would be fun to catch up a little bit and talk about everything that is happening over here and has happened and I'm planning to do while I finish my final Manx block. So behind me there is this quilt, the Manx quilt, and I started that a long time ago and I thought it would be so lovely if I could finish it. So I was planning to make it very big, but I decided that I'd rather have it finished than having it in the exact size that I planned it at first. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish it with what I have. And what I had was this amount of blocks that I could put in this layout, and I only needed to make 2 extra blocks, one of which I have already finished and one of which I now have to make, and I only have 1 block left, so that is not going to fit in the quilt. So I think that's a good score, that I can finish a quilt and only have to make 1 more block and then can assemble it. And the assembling, that is mainly what this video is about. So if you are only interested in the assembly of the Manx quilt, then just skip ahead and watch that part of the video. I will put the timestamps in the comments below so you can easily switch to that part if that is what you came for. But yeah, if you're here to catch up, then welcome and hi! Sometimes you mention that I should introduce myself before videos for new people. So if you're new here, my name is 𝗰𝗁𝗃. I'm from the Netherlands. So in English you would pronounce that Irene, but in Dutch it is 𝗰𝗁𝗃. And I am a quilt pattern and fabric designer. And I work from my studio here in the Netherlands. And yeah, I haven't been making videos in a while. Well, yeah, I think about giving an update on things that happen that happen around here. So I just came back from QuiltCon 2 weeks ago, and that was wonderful. It was so wonderful. I don't know if you've ever been there. If you haven't, and if you ever get the chance to travel to QuiltCon, I can truly recommend it. It felt so wonderful. Just such a lovely vibe there with all the people. It felt like we have with our quilt guild, we have get-togethers, so where it's just a group of maybe 20-30 quilters having a lovely time sewing together. Well, it really felt like that. It was really warm, and even though you don't know the people you meet, it just feels really welcoming and really nice. So yeah, only for the people I would already recommend traveling to QuiltCon. And then of course you have the exhibition with such amazing quilts and a lot of quilts on display. And also a lot of wonderful shops that show their products there, and well, that also gives a whole inspiration of all the new projects that you want to make over the next year. Well, next year. Maybe I brought home more than I can finish in the next year. But it was wonderful, and going to QuiltCon actually sparked my motivation to film videos again. I love filming videos. I love showing what I'm making, and I love teaching what I'm doing and sharing about techniques, and well, I love it all, and video is a great medium for that. So yeah, my YouTube channel here is just a really happy place for me. But what sparked my motivation for making new videos was meeting you. So I actually met a lot of people that follow my YouTube channel or that quilt along with my quilt alongs, and that was wonderful. That was truly special to hear about your stories, about why you quilt, about what it does for you, or what it brings you, and how happy it makes you. So that was amazing. I really yeah, I was really touched by that, and it made me realize that we have something here. It's really special to be making videos for you, and so we're going to pick up where I kind of dropped my YouTube ball. So that's why we're here. We are making new videos. So this is a video that I wanted to make because I want to finish my Manx vlogs. And the next video I'm going to make is doing a work in progress update. So sharing what kind of projects I have lying around and what the things are that I would love to finish and I want to work on. So that's going to be the next one. And I think for now we are going to have one video maybe every 2 weeks, and then hopefully we can go back to one a week. So yeah, but I don't want to put too much on my calendar, so I don't want to put too much tasks and things there. So let's start just by making one video every 2 weeks and see how it goes from there. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, so that was QuiltCon, and that was 2 weeks ago that I came back, and I really needed a lot of time landing again, because it was just a lot. It was a lot of new people and new ideas and social interactions, and I just really needed to take time to to land back here and start doing work things and working on my projects that are here, that are already in progress. But I think I am back now. So the thing we just did was finalize the Between the Lines quilt along. So yesterday we actually announced the winners of the Between the Lines quilt along. Congratulations to you if you won the sewing machine or some of the other prizes, but also congratulations to you if you finished your quilt. I have seen so many amazing Between the Lines quilts on Facebook and Instagram. It really cool to see how they all turn out. And a lot of them are also so different because of your fabric choices. Really fun to see. So thank you so much for joining if you participated there and for sharing your quilt. Really fun. So yeah, we are finalizing that. It doesn't mean that I'm done blogging for Bernina. So I have more fun blog posts and projects in store for the Bernina blog. For the We All Sew blog, and also for the Bernina Dutch and German and English blog. So yeah, I will be doing that and working on that for a while, and also writing blog posts on working with the 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃, so with the big Q that I'm calling it, my long arm machine. So also working on blog posts on that, and it's so much fun to get to know that machine. And yeah, I sometimes need to pinch myself that there is a long arm in the studio over here. So that's really cool, and that is something that I'm working on. Something else that's happening right now is the Easter Bunny quilt along. Maybe you have seen it on Instagram or in my newsletter. We are doing a super fun Easter quilt along just for it's running for about 4 weeks, and then we're making 4 Easter bunnies and quilting that one. So it's going to be done before Easter. So if you're seeing this and still want to join in, you can still get the pattern, and there are a few kits left. So if you want to make a fun quilt for Easter, I'm not sure when this video is going up exactly, but I think there should still be time for Easter to make your Easter bunny quilt. Yeah, so that is that's the Easter quilt along that we're doing. Then let's see, what else do we have planned? Well, traveling wise, I am going to travel to the US again in May. I am going to the H&H fair. That is a business to business fair, and it's not only about quilting. So last year, no, not last year, the year before that and the year before that, I went to Quilt Market in Houston, and that is only quilting. But H&H is also a craft, business to business craft fair, and that is also about knitting and sewing garments, and it's just a little bit wider than only quilting. So I think that's really exciting because I love all of those things. I love knitting and yarn, and I love it all. So that's really fun. And what I'm going to do there is give a presentation about a brand new fabric collection. So it feels like Happy Notes has only just arrived, but we are going to announce a new fabric collection in May. That's going to be my 3rd fabric collection. How cool is that? Yeah, so we are announcing that, and that doesn't mean that it's already in store in May, but that means that all the fabric shops can start ordering the new fabric line. So it's fun, and that means that I am doing a lot of behind the scenes sewing because I need to sew all the quilts that travel with me to H&H in Chicago this year. So, well, this year in 2 months. I think it's halfway May, April. Yeah, it's halfway. What is it? Looking at my calendar. Yeah, I think we have 2 months left to quilt all the quilts, so that's exciting. Yeah, it's really fun to be able to work with the new fabrics, and also a little bit weird that I can't share about it yet, but soon enough I can share everything that we're making now. Yeah, so that's a fun thing that I can't share yet. And of course with quilt patterns, the timeline is always a little bit shorter, I think, than with quilt fabric, because with quilt fabric you have like a production timeline, and with a quilt pattern I could just think of a pattern right now and make it tomorrow and publish it the day after. But with quilt fabric there's always a little bit longer timeline, so there's also more in the timeline. So I'm also working on something else with Benatex already, and it's a lot of fun, but that's for hopefully later this year. Yeah, so yeah, that is mostly what's going on over here in the studio, and what is on my calendar for the coming months. Yeah, it's going well. See, only need a few more strips on that. So yeah, what else is happening here? I started up my vegetable garden, which is fun because now I get to do it with Jules. He is almost 7. Well, he is 7. Ella is almost 4. I was thinking about that. Yeah, so he can help me now in the garden, and that's really fun. I have an app with all the vegetables that you can grow and what you need to look out for. It's a little bit gamified vegetable garden. It's really fun, but it's in Dutch, so I don't think it helps to share it here. So yeah, it's really fun to do that together with him. But that's only just starting. We don't have a lot growing yet because it's March and it's cold. It's still freezing a little bit at night. Well, that's in Celsius, so it's a little bit below 0 at night. Yeah. But I love that the weather is getting better, and that it's that the sun is out more. Days are becoming longer, so that does a lot for me, for how I feel and how everything is going. So that's wonderful. So yeah, on that aspect, also some of you that I met during QuiltCon were asking about how I was doing, and because I shared in the past that I wasn't doing great, especially after Ella was born, and that took a long time to recover from that, but it still is going better and better. So that is really yeah, something wonderful to share, that it's all going so well and I'm feeling good, and I'm still trying to keep in mind to stay feeling good, like don't do too much, and maintaining my energy levels, and just keeping an eye out on things that potentially could like bring back that not feeling great phase. So that's really nice. I'm growing in that and learning about it, and that's, yeah, that's really good. So I'm happy about that. So happy about how it's going, and how I'm feeling, and all the potential that there is in everything I get to design and make for Sugaridoo. I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this year, and to share some projects that I am working on right now. So I am working on some things for myself, products that I want to launch within Sugaridoo. But I can't really share about that yet because I haven't completely figured those out. But yeah, that's going to be exciting when they do work out. And if you want to be the first to know about these things, the best place to be is my newsletter. So I will put a link down below to sign up for the newsletter, because that is always where I announce like releases or things the first. Yeah, that's a little bit more frequent and reliable than the YouTube videos, because you never know when there's going to be a new video. But my newsletter I send out more regularly. So if you want to stay updated, do sign up for the newsletter. I think I will just have to finish this, otherwise I will keep talking. And I'm just really excited to be filming a video again and sharing about what's happening here with you. But I am going to finish this and get back to you when we're going to put this quilt together. And there we have my final Manx block finished. So now this block is finished, it's time to put the quilt top together. But just a second before we continue, I would love to tell you about the Sugaridoo Super Sale. On the 11th of April, on a Friday, the Sugaridoo Super Sale is going to start again. And we have a lot of bundles, a lot of yardage and coupons. Well, everything that I have gathered here during my big spring cleaning will be in the shop with the Sugaridoo Super Sale. So if you want to be the first to know about the sale when the sale goes up and the exact links to the different products, make sure to subscribe to the Sugaridoo newsletter. Previous sales, the bundles, they all went really quick. So if you want to know when it's going up, just subscribe to my newsletter and you'll be the first to know. Okay, thank you, and we'll continue. And with a normal quilt, you would first assemble the quilt top and then quilt it with a batting and a backing. But this one is different because this is the front of the block and it is assembled on a piece of fabric and it's already quilted. So I only need to join all the blocks and I don't need to do any adding of batting and then quilting it. So when it's assembled, it's also done. But the assembly is a little bit tricky because we have a front of the quilt and a back, and I decided to join the front by machine and then hand stitch the back. So let's see, where do we have a seam? Here we have a seam that I already did. So there are all kinds of possibilities for the stitches, but I chose to do like these X's, little crosses to join the blocks together. And here I experimented a little bit with the type of stitches. So here's some more straight stitches, little stitches I made there, and here's some crosses. So yeah, that is what I'm going for, and I'm going to show you the steps of how I'm sewing and cutting and hand stitching. So let me put this back in its place. There we go. And then we will take the next two blocks that I want to join, that is this one to this one. So I'm going to join these two together. There we go. We are going to sew together these two blocks. And what I would like to do is sew together the front of the blocks and not sew the back, because the back I am going to sew by hand. So I am going to place these blocks on top of each other and I'm going to fold away the fabric on the back. And you need to make sure that you do that on both sides, so you also need to fold away the fabric on the other side. And then stick in a pin. And this can take some readjustments because you don't get all the fabric at the back the first time maybe. So now I'm going to check. That actually looks good, so that is folded out of the way. I'm going to do this one again in the middle. So by doing this I pinned like the blocks on top of each other, and I also pinned away the fabric. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance. Yeah, see, this is sticking out a little bit. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. So it is going to stay a little bit wonky because these blocks were made by hand, and yeah, my strips were all the same width, but yeah, since you are folding everything and stitching this by hand, it's not going to be super precise. And that's okay. I really don't mind if my quilt is getting wonky. So if this is not exact, that's fine by me. So let's sew this. So I just went ahead and checked on my machine where my 1/2 inch line is. So the side of my foot is 1/4 inch, and then 1/2 inch would be this line. So I will just, here it says 5/8 of an inch, so the line next to that is 4/8 of an inch. So I will just keep my fabric lined up with that line, and then we're good to go. Just need to go not too fast because here it is quite bulky, so my foot wants to go in this direction, so it wants to push the fabric in that direction. So I just need to go slow to keep everything in place. And this 1/2 inch seam allowance you might want to try out what works for your blocks, because traditionally you make Manx blocks according to the size of your hand, and oops, I'm zoomed in a lot. So you cut your fabrics and your strips. It depends on the size of your hands and other measurements, so it should differ from person to person how big you make your Manx blocks. So also this measurement, like taking a 1/2 inch, works for my blocks, but maybe you want to check with your blocks what works. So there we go. I have sewn this, and I'm going to take that back to my cutting board. There we go. I have sewn my seam, so this is now attached. And now I want to cover the back with the fabric and some hand stitching, but this is going to be in the way. So when you would fold this over and then hand stitch, this is just going to be in the way. So what I figured was I would nicely fold back one of the sides and keep one of the sides, one of the backings out of the way, and fold one of the backings back. So we're going to cut through 3 layers of fabric. So you have 2 times the front and 1 of the backs. So only one of the backings is folded out of the way, and what I'm going to do is cut on a 1/4 inch. Let's see where my seam is. Just going to trim this fabric that is going to be in the seam. So what happens now is that that backing fabric that we cut, you can lay it flat, and it's not going to be in the way of the backing that is going to go on top. So here something happened. I think I need to cut a little bit more. Of the fabric on the back. Let's see. It's a little bit tricky because on the front you have, of course, these strips, and these strips were just folded. So it is wise to also pin those in place. I didn't do it for this one, I forgot. It is nice to pin those in place as well. Just cut off a little bit extra over here. So there we go. Yeah, so now it's important that everything is going to lay kind of flat. Let's see, what side are we going to put this? There we go. So this is going to lay flat, and what we are going to do then is fold this and place it on top of the other side, and I'm going to glue baste it, put it in place, and then you have a really nice seam that you can do with some decorative stitching or some big stitching, or if you prefer you can use a thin thread and do some invisible stitching, but I like the idea of visible stitching on the side. So I'm going to take some glue and glue baste it. Okay, there we go. So this is the side that was cut off, and this is the side we're going to put over. I am going to fold it over. It doesn't need to be a 1/4 inch. Like, everything is so wonky and wobbly here, so it's all okay. Just going to glue baste this. There we go, just put it in place. Give it a little press. And then we have a seam that we can hand stitch. So I did put in just 2 pins over here to keep this in place. Yeah, there we go. So let me show you some hand stitching, and then you're all good to go to do your own quilt top. Okay, let's see. Let's do some big stitching. And like I showed you on this one, you can go as crazy as you'd like. I use all kinds of different colors. You can switch up the stitches that you use. I'm just going to go with the crosses. So I made a little knot at the end of my tail thread. And now what we're going to do, we are just going to make some big stitches, and I only want to go through the back layers. So I try not to go through the fabric on the front. So that is half across. Then I go back in here and travel a little bit that way. And also here you don't want to go through the front layers. So there we go. One little cross. Oops, one little cross was made. So I will make a little cross like so. And then from here I will travel all the way through the fabric to there. And you don't want anything to show on the other side. So is this the most secure stitch? I don't know. I don't think so. But it only needs to hold these two back layers in place because the front is already secured by machine. So it's mostly to just prevent this from being too big of a gap. So it's all good, really, what you make, I think. So yeah, I experimented a little bit and came to the conclusion that I liked this way of finishing my Manx blocks, of assembling my Manx blocks together. There are probably a lot of different ways that you could go about this. I like the look, and it's fun to do. It's really fun to make these stitches. So there you go. That is that's all there is to it, I guess. Oh wait, I will get back to my design wall and show you how to go about finishing more than 2 blocks. Like this is just 2 blocks that I'm doing, and of course we want to assemble the whole quilt top. Let's see, one more stitch there. We will make one more, and you don't need to go all the way to the end because there's going to be ½ an inch seam allowance, so don't need to go too close. There we go. And then you can end somewhere in the back and make a little knot inside here to fasten off. Okay, then how to go about finishing everything. Well, what I did for this piece was first sew this one to this one, I think, and then these two to that one. So I'm adding 2 every time. So I sewed this one to this one and then joined it over here. So then I joined it like there. So that's also what I'm going to do here. This is going to go here. So first we sewed these 2 together, and what I would do now is put it on top over here and then basically do the same thing. So I would move this piece out of the way, and I would move this backing out of the way and pin that away, and then do that for the whole length. So on some blocks I made it a little bit difficult for myself because I sewed all the way to the end. So then your backing is going to be sewn to the front. So I first have to unpick this and fix that before I can sew it together. But yeah, that is that is what I'm going to do. So I fold this back and I fold this back. So with a 1/2 inch seam allowance for the front, and then stitch the back by hand. Yeah, so that's my Manx project. Let's put this back in place and add the 2 blocks that I just joined. It's going to be like that, or maybe like this. And yeah, then my final block, that is going to go over here. So I think how I would go about joining everything is joining these 2 and then making it 1 row and making this row in the same way, and then maybe making a row of 3. So I'm going to join this to this to this, and then join this whole section, and then I have 3 big sections left to assemble. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in, for taking the time to watch the video, and thank you all so much for your support and enthusiasm, and I can't wait to make more videos and share more quilting with you here on Sugaridoo channel. If you haven't done already, please do hit subscribe, because a lot of you are watching and are not subscribed to the channel. That will mean a lot, because then YouTube knows that you like the channel and it will recommend it to more quilters out there. So would really appreciate a little thumbs up, or when you hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much, and see you next time.